Brother Maynard, bring up the holy hand grenade. 1, 2, 5.
Freezer!
3.
Arm yourselves, America. This is Defenders Live.
Hey, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gonna stop. We gonna turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, tell 'em turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one that I'm gonna see go. I am not afraid of the storm that comes.
Oh boy.
Yeah!
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
What are you boying?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
no. Just being dumb. So we always talk about California.
They know how to party.
They do know how to party because California
Knows how to
don't
party.
know how to party.
Mhm.
I personally like California. At least let me phrase that. Hold on.
Woo ho.
Hold on. Let me clarify something.
Okay.
California as land is beautiful. Love California. It is so pretty out there. San Diego was my favorite. I loved it out there. I'd live there
If it weren't for the fruits and nuts.
if it wasn't such a crap hole.
Yeah.
You know, it's New Jersey-esque but prettier.
It's like
and-
New Jersey, but better.
Yeah, it just slightly, not much, but a little bit.
No.
One of the biggest things that people complain about living in California is how much it costs to live there.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know, the folks there pay by far some of the highest tax rates in the nation.
By near and far.
Oh yeah, from gas to clothes to homeowners. I mean, everything is astronomical out there.
True.
I've always been really worried about California.
Okay.
I've been worried. I've been thinking eventually it was going to go. It was just going to hit a point where it would just dissolve and
Float away.
it would evaporate into the dustbins of time. Apparently, though, California,
Mm-hmm.
at least for the moment, it seems like voters out there might actually be getting their stuff together.
What?
I know, right? Weird. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a bill.
Yeah.
It was a proposal the California had posed, basically a school bond,
Sure.
for $15 billion. $15
$1 billion.
billion
Mm-hmm.
for repairs.
Purrs.
It was defeated.
Oh. Well, that's good.
Completely, and totally just squished.
Good.
The voters rejected more than half
More than half.
237 local taxes and bond measures on the ballot. So it's not just the $15 billion for school repairs that they swear up and down they need. It was a whole slew of other tax hikes.
Oh, good. So they figured out that tax hikes are bad. Okay.
Yes. The final tally of the vote remains incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an agreement on both sides that no single reason explains the downfall of the big bond. It looks like a mix of factors, not the least of which was jitters over the staggering stock market, the presidential race, and coronavirus, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, so what you're telling me is that the people that voted, which, by the way, are in the government already,
Yep.
were scared that the increased tax hikes might have an adverse effect on the economy?
Yeah, which is really weird, considering California hasn't cared about that for a very long time.
A really long time.
It's always been about, push the taxes, and that's what you do.
Push it.
You tax more people You tax the rich, you tax all this stuff, and eventually what'll happen is you'll just have this giant surplus of money that you will be able to do and spend at your heart's desire.
You tax the rich, you tax the poor, they tax the rest, and then you get
Screwed. No.
Sorry, facts of life came to my head for some reason.
No, and it works. I'm just saying it works. Oh, let's see. But the part that makes me giggle about this is they're trying to say, well, the reason is probably there's some people who are worried about the stock market. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
But they're talking about the current stock market, the current levels. If it hadn't been tanking because of, allegedly the coronavirus.
Do not mention that word.
Too late. What I don't understand is what does people not voting for this thing have to do with the presidential race?
It has nothing to do with the presidential race, other than the fact that if Democrats come out and vote a ton of taxes in, then it'll look really bad on the Democrats that are getting voted in.
Yeah, that's the only thing it is. It's to save face. It has nothing to do with the actual presidential race. And I'm sorry, but the C word that apparently Stephen doesn't want me to mention.
No, do not.
That outbreak, they're trying to say is another factor too, and I'm really, you're worried about it. Shut up. So stupid. There was also confusion over precisely what proposal would do, and uncertain voters tend to vote no. Polling also shows voters believe taxes are too high.
The rent is too damn high.
Way too damn high. Additionally, there's widespread anger over soaring housing costs, a troubled and vastly over-budget high-speed rail project, and the homeless crisis in the state's major cities.
This guy called it as a joke. Right here.
Quote, there's a sense that California isn't working.
No, because they know how to party.
Yeah, well, this one is just not working. Claremont McKenna College political scientist Jack Pitney said, when a fresh request from Sacramento for billions in new debt, voters said, quote, we have been taxed enough, end quote. Supporters had promoted the plan as a desperately needed repair job for crumbling schools, some more than half a century old. Roughly $9 billion from so-called Proposition 13 would go to K through 12 schools, with the rest for higher education. And it irritates me because North Carolina's got we got the lottery here, and they call it the North Carolina Education Lottery
because they give 1% to the education system.
It's just that 1% that allows them to be able to do that.
Right.
But it irritates me because you see it, and even the commercials. Look what we do for the schools and the communities and blah, 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 and how wonderful it is.
Well, 1% of like millions of dollars on an annual basis is still pretty nice.
Yes, but then they turn around every single election.
Yeah.
They have another bond.
Yes.
We need to have this much money. We need billions and millions of dollars because these schools are failing. We need to pay our teachers.
What about the election lottery thing?
Right? That's always my thing. That's always why I always say no. You know what I mean? You're already getting a boatload of money from the lottery. If you don't want to throw out a little bit more to them, then don't. Between my state and federal taxes and between the lottery, and there are a couple other little things around here too that do it. I'm not paying you more money. Shut up. Go pound sand.
Let it go.
Figure it out. Dan Newman, a spokesman for the campaign behind the school construction plan, disputed that the election was evidence of a deep rupture in California's political landscape.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, deep. I know.
Rupture.
For voters, he said, it's about priorities. He said some voters might have asked why the state needed a record-sized round of borrowing at a time when the economy has been strong and the state is rolling up multi-billion-dollar budget surpluses.
Ooh.
Yes, allegedly that with all the taxes that they're doing, California actually has a surplus, which is funny because they're not spending it on anything actually keeping the state going.
Right.
You know,
they're
like
not
ways.
they're not spending any money. And they're
Yeah,
not, and they're
they're-
not paying back the debts owed to the United States government either.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, no, they're buying things. It's just nothing of actual value
Worth.
and importance. It's
Right.
not more reservoirs and things to help catch rainwater, so you don't have droughts and stuff so badly out there. It's not that they are well, leaving the forests alone so that way they can have the fires, so they can they can grow and do as they need to.
But Dylan.
It's really,
Dylan.
what?
Only you can prevent forest fires.
All right, Smokey the Bear. The number of losses for tax and bond measures across the state points to, quote, grumpiness towards taxes statewide, he said.
Mm-hmm.
While voter perception ebb and flow, quote, people seem less inclined right now to think spending money fixes big problems, end quote. No, really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? You mean if you've got a problem and you throw money at it, it's not necessarily going to go away?
Oh,
What?
well, I mean, last problem that most guys have, they throw money at, and usually it goes away.
Mine hasn't.
You didn't throw money at.
No, I have. It's just apparently not enough.
Not enough. Yeah, not enough monies.
A longtime low tax crusader John Kopel sees it differently. The tax fatigue at work, he says, the sense that voters have grown cynical after repeatedly authorizing more money and debt for the government with scant evidence that services or classrooms are improving.
Mm.
The state proposal didn't directly raise taxes. It had a fine print provision that would have nearly doubled the limit on what a local school district could borrow.
Always read the fine print.
The debt would obviously then be passed off to local taxpayers. With high tax rates, including already cutting into household budgets, voters ask, quote, what are we going to do?
What's love got to do with it?
Mm-hmm. Coble, who heads the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, named after the man who led the property tax revolt, and their answer was it isn't worth the investment.
It's not worth the investment?
It is not worth the investment.
Is this the same Jarvis that was also the butler for Iron Man?
I cannot prove or deny. I can't prove that. I don't know. It's possible. It's highly possible.
Because, I mean,
There-
I could see a digital uprising there as well.
Yes, I can see. There's an anecdotal evidence at least part of the defeat stemmed from confusion over the number 13 assigned to the question in the ballot.
Wait.
Uh-huh.
That's a very unlucky number or slightly lucky number, depending upon who you talk to, the number
Yeah.
13. So why is there a debate over 13?
In a fateful twist, the school proposal carried the name that is both famous and infamous for California's politics, Proposition 13. That is the same title as a 1978 law approved by voters that capped annual increase on property taxes until a property change of ownership. It was a blessing for homeowners, but meant billions less for California schools.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but the people who live there pay for their stuff anyway.
Landing the controversial number was just bad luck. Ballot proposition is numbered under state law in a continuous numerical sequence, starting with the number 1. Every 10 years, the count is reset. In this case, the new round of numbers kicked off in 2018.
So you're saying in 2 years they've only had 13 propositions? Huh.
Yeah, they're hoping it won't happen again. Democratic Assemblyman Patrick O'Donnell of Long Beach, who co-authored the bill that would put the bond on the ballot, has introduced a bill to halt the use of the name in the future after his office received calls of voters confusing the 1978 law and the school bond on the ballot.
Because it's simple to confuse those.
Well, yeah, but still. So
Because
basically,
they're
you're just hoping that you can goof people into giving more money. Can't be that they actually are just tired of giving you money.
No.
Can't be that. No. It's legitimately.
And both of
they're
them happen to do with taxes?
Yeah. Yep.
No.
They're just stupid. That's what it is.
Thanks
Quote,
for
I
asking.
can't tell you how many times that I witnessed voter confusion in the months leading up to the election. The bill's co-sponsor, Republican Assemblyman Jay Obernolt
He's not a Republican.
of Hespernia.
He's
Or Hesperia.
not a Republican.
Yeah,
He's a Californian.
he's a California Republican, which
Not Republican.
doesn't say a whole lot about anything. So there you have it. California apparently
Mhm.
is on the uptick. Yay!
Yay! C-word compliant slug over on the Twitter.
hmm
Sounds to me like they finally drove out all the taxpayers in California.
Yeah, yeah. And those that are stuck there, like, we can't keep paying you people.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a little bit.
Not even.
Here's the problem with it, though, is you're going to have to deal with those pesky lawmakers over there because they're still in there trying to screw things up.
That is true. They do have the pesky lawmakers.
California Democrat who owes nearly $145,000.
Whoa.
No,
Whoa.
we got to roll, man. We got stuff to do. We
Yeah,
gotta
but
roll.
no. Hold on.
No, this is imperative.
It is imperative. But first, take a break.
I don't want to take a break.
Have a
I don't.
sip of your coffee.
I have had, that's why I'm on a roll, man. I
Oh,
need to get stuff done.
Then maybe you should tell other people about this sort of thing that gives you that sort of energy and pep in your step.
You mean the coffee? The
Yeah.
coffee that literally will bring rainbows to the skies?
Yes.
You know, because that's with St. Patty's Day coming. A lot of people think that, you find a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, and that is not true. What
no,
you find
is a bag of APR coffee.
a pot of freshly made APR coffee,
Oh,
AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
You put that right to the light, it refracts completely
Yes.
perfectly. Yes.
Literally squeezed from the hand of God. AmericanPrideRoasters.com is where you would go get this nectar that is so just amazing. And
illustrious.
that was the word I was trying to say. And, daggone caffeine's got me rolling. So many different flavors, so many different brands or types to choose from. You can have the flavored coffees like your Burr Hamilton, which is, your blueberry donut, or your the Helen Taft, which is chocolate and
Cherry.
Chocolate cherry. I was thinking of raspberry, which is the Ron Sexual Chocolate. Doc's Bacon Blast. Or if you are just not into the flavors, you just want a good cup of black regular coffee,
Go with the George Washington.
go with the George Washington.
That is amazing.
It is an amazing cup of coffee, the Mojo 50 blend. So many others out there, guys. If you have not tried it, I'm telling you, you do not know what you are missing. Forget
Yes.
the Folgers, get American Pride Roasters.
The best
Go to
part of waking up
AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
is.
American Pride in your cup.
Mm-hmm.
Get over there, and whatever you get, I give you my personal guarantee that you will love it. And if you don't love it, I'll drink it. That's all you got to do. You don't like it, you get a hold of me, you email me, whatever, Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and you say, Dylan, I do not like this, and I will take it off your hands.
Mm-hmm. I'll pay for the shipping.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to pay for it. You can send it to me on your own, and I'll drink it. There's no reason to let it go to waste.
That's what I'm saying. I'll pay for the shipping. What, $10? It's in a flat rate box. Put it in there. Put it back in the box.
All of it. That was whatever. Go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com and get your flavor picked out today. I promise you, you will not. It's not one of those things where you just order online and, oh, well, so no. Mm-mm.
No.
This is literally a life changer.
True. So you did have the question when we talked about that story, and the question was, can California survive? Do we have hope for California?
Well,
and the answer is a California Democrat who owes $145,000 in back taxes blocks a tax lien disclosure law. This from the Washington Free Beacon.
yes. See, it's California. Apparently, the people are starting to wake up. The problem with it is they still have a whole bunch of corruption in the government.
Yeah.
A lot of it. When you have one of the lawmakers, one of these corrupt douchebags inside office, turning around and in the negative, owing money to the federal government, then blocks a bill that would require Congress to put out tax liens and everything. He blocks it all.
I
So
can
he-
handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Like, duh.
dumb. I'm smart, and I want respect.
I love that.
I
don't
didn't
care
mean to
what
cut you
anybody
off there, but
Yeah. The IRS filed a tax lien against Representative T.J. Cox, Democratic from California, in January, listing nearly $87,000 and $57,000 in unpaid federal income taxes for 2016 and 2017, respectively. The congressman on Wednesday voted to block legislation that would force politicians to reveal such liens in congressional financial disclosures. The bill
so
would also garnish
yeah.
federal wages from elected officials until the debt is resolved.
So you're telling me that it's a Cox block?
It is. It's funny because if this had been, I'm going to put it this way, California especially, but a lot of these politicians think that they are noblemen. Apparently, they have forgotten that they are civil servants. They think that we have gone back to the days when they are lords and ladies of the land, where they rule over us lowly little serfs, and we.
Oh, the days of yore.
Yes, we are just naive people who are too dumb. As we even, I gave you the list of different reasons they said that why these people voted to block this bond and stuff for the schools.
Right.
They're too stupid. Now that you got people like this who are turning around and I will not, disclose this stuff, and I will, block laws to keep me from having to pay my stuff back that I owe. But how fast do you think this jackwagon would turn around and sign something that would require all the little people to have to turn around and disclose their stuff and have their wages garnished instantly?
Oh, immediately, because they need that money now.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not J.G. Wentworth now. That's my money, and I need it now.
Well, I mean, all you got to do is call.
Yeah,
Never mind. Continuing on, because now the song is stuck in everybody's head.
The vote comes as Cox faces a tough re-election fight in 2020 against former California Republican Representative Dave Valadao. Valadao. Thank you.
Yeah.
Who Cox defeated by less than 1 point in the closest congressional race of 2018, while election observers including the Cook Political Report, rate the 21st congressional district as, quote, lean Democratic. Republicans have seen positive signs that they will be able to flip the district following the March primary. California has open primaries in which two candidates with the most votes, regardless of the party, face off in a general election. Valadao received 53% of the primary vote compared to Cox's 36%.
It sounds like Valadao is about to, rip out a Cox or two.
Yeah. Well, Valadao's campaign rebuked Cox for his vote in a comment to the Washington Free Beacon, accusing Democrat of prioritizing his bank account over his official duties. Quote, T.J. Cox. I keep thinking T.J. Hooker every time I see it.
Yeah.
Owes the IRS over $140,000 in taxes, now using his vote in Congress to protect himself. That was a campaign manager, Andrew Retinaria.
Well, that's because he was checking himself before he wrecked himself.
Faux show. Quote, TJ has proven time and again that voters can't trust him because he's willing to put his own personal financial interests ahead of the voters of Central Valley, end quote. The best part is this tax lien in January against Cox is hardly his first financial misstep with the IRS. In 2017, California Democrat paid out $48,000 in unpaid income tax dating back to 2015.
Are you telling me that Cox has been screwing the federal government for decades now?
Uh-huh. Well, at least some years. He blamed the lien on, quote, bureaucratic incompetence, end quote, arguing that his, quote, check was stuck on the back of somebody else's payment, end quote.
That is utter bull.
Yeah.
That is, first off, who uses check anymore? Who the hell uses a check anymore? Bull hockey. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, we'll be right back right after this commercial break. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. We forgot to mention that every pot of APR coffee is protected by an armed jackhole.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
Sorry. Well, we figured that was understood.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty much there. Donna Ray Ivy. Y'all did that. Y'all did that earworm on purpose. A-holes. No, we're cocks. Get it?
Thank you, Donna. I
Love you.
I was for something else.
Oh.
I know. I'm working on it. Okay.
He's trying to quit.
It's being rectified. Wrecked him. Damn near killed him. Oh.
Really, compliant slug?
Yeah, we did do the earworm on purpose. Sorry. It's what we do.
Compliant slug uses checks.
Really?
I'm sad now.
It's just not the same.
Mm-mm.
Dun, 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 dun.
You like the control of a check? I don't. I like the lack of control from a check. You hand somebody a check and it takes 5 days for it to come out of your bank. Bothers the crap out of me. All right. We should be coming back here in just a few seconds.
I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
So, you know what pisses the left off more than California not getting taxes?
No, I have no idea. What is that?
Trump.
Well, duh.
Yeah. You know what else makes it even worse than just Trump?
Mm.
When Trump wins something.
But what do you mean when Trump wins something? Because I
Well,
mean, you know, we talk about the good and the bad,
Mm-hmm.
and he's had a lot of good lately. So what is this? What do you mean?
The Supreme Court handed Donald Trump a win on Wednesday
Mm.
with a court order giving his administration a judicial green light to continue enforcement of its, quote, migrant protection protocols, end quote, otherwise known as the Remain in Mexico policy for the time being.
Right. Darn friggin' right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, that's,
jeez.
yeah, it's supposed to be common sense on a lot of this stuff. But then again, you can't call it common sense if it's not very common.
Hmm.
Last week, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in San Fran upheld the lower court's decision blocking the policy from going into effect in Arizona and California, the two border states within its geographical jurisdiction.
Too
This
bad.
injunction was set to go into effect on Thursday before the Supreme Court stepped in.
Yes.
The quote, the application for stay presented to Justice Kagan and by her referred to the court is granted. And the district courts at April 8th of 2019 order granting a preliminary injunction is stayed pending the timely filing and a deposition of the petition for a writ to what the hell?
What?
I got glasses on. A writ for
What are you trying to read?
certiorari? Hold on, It's Latin. I don't know what the hell that is. I gave up Latin because it was too hard. Basically, they had to get a petition put in, which means the lower court's order blocking the policy won't go into effect while the related lawsuit works its way through federal courts.
Right.
The order also listed Justice Sotomayor.
Sotomayor.
Yep. As the only dissenter for the court's decision.
Of course.
Under the protocols, which were announced in December of 2018 as an effort to combat the southern border crisis, non-Mexico asylum seekers who presented themselves at the southern border are required to wait in Mexico while their immigration proceedings are sorted out.
Doesn't that make more sense?
Again, you can't call it common sense anymore because it's not very common.
I'm not talking about common sense. I'm just talking about more sense.
But I mean, to me, it's common sense. You're trying to come here. You're trying to enter our nation under the claims that you let you walk in and not check out their immigration cases in unsafe conditions in Mexico.
Well, I'm sorry if it's unsafe, but we need to verify that they're safe for us and our country before we can allow them in.
Yeah, the way I figure it. This is again my little 2 cents on this, but it's going to be a deterrent because if you're just trying to come in, and I'm not even saying for anything nefarious. Let's just say that you go, oh well, all you got to do is go over there and say you're seeking asylum, and they just let you in,
and then you get to leave and do whatever and never show up for your court date, and you're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you're not doing an actual crime aside from
breaking and entering.
Well,
federal
yeah,
government, yeah, that.
But I
you know,
mean,
the whole actually being here.
Yeah, that part aside, I'm talking about like an actual, drunk driving or murder or anything like that, rape, any of that good stuff. Aside from being illegal in the country, you're not doing anything wrong. If that's really what you're coming for, then something like this will kind of, make sure that you have your ducks in a row and we're not just letting people in all willy-nilly. You know what I mean? Like that. It's called protecting your house. You wouldn't let somebody just walk in your house. Some stranger shows up to your door and goes, "Oh my God, someone's chasing me!" Blah 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 blah.
Right.
I'm having this horrible time. Please let me in. Are you just going to open your door and just let it? Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
There's a fridge.
Sure.
Make yourself at home.
Whatever. Hey, do you want a sandwich?
Right. Reports of what many asylum seekers face once sent to these cities are grim, reads a report from the American Civil Liberties Union. Human rights groups and journalists have documented numerous cases of kidnapping, sexual assault, and other violent crimes committed against them, end quote. And again, if you truly are seeking asylum, if you are legit in a situation and you need to come here and you're trying to and you're doing it the right way, those are going to be deterrents to, to make sure, yep, I'm coming here and this is it's worth it, because it doesn't always happen. It may not always happen. Not everything's perfect. But that's a Mexico problem on that end.
Right.
If Mexico's not going to start, putting up stuff and I guess America could ask for the stuff too, but if that's what you have to do to get here, then maybe you want to phone ahead first and make a reservation or something. I don't know how that works, but I'm just saying. However, the administration argues that the policy has been critical and effective in dealing with the immigration situation at the border.
Right.
In a late February statement, White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham said that the policy, which had returned, quote, over 60,000 aliens to the Mexicos, end quote, has been hugely successful.
Huge.
In reducing burdens on the United States communities and easing the humanitarian crisis at the southern border. Again, because the only people after a while, once they realize this is how it is, and it's not going to just be an easy stroll through the front gate, they're going to, the people who will be there legit will probably have real reason to be there.
Correct.
And they're not having to weed through and find out that, oh no, this is just some guy or this is just some family who just don't want to be here anymore and they want to come try and bilge off the American system.
True.
So, quote, we are gratified that the Supreme Court granted a stay, which prevents the district court injunction from impairing the security of our borders and the integrity of our immigration system, a Department of Justice spokesman said at the ruling, according to Axios.
Sounds like fun.
So there you have it.
Yeah. So
there you go.
You're saying the Supreme Court actually did something.
Yeah. This and it's
Okay.
not biased. Like everybody, they only had one dissenter.
Right. So it was basically an overall win. One
Oh, yeah,
dissenter
it was
one dissenter that always and forever will dissent in
Yeah.
in anything that has to do with this.
Yeah, which just goes to show that
She's
You
not
know-
actually she's not actually judging based on the law. She's
Yes.
judging based on her emotion.
yep, and yet she's still there.
Right. Because she
Yep.
was placed there and it's very, very difficult to fire a judge.
Mhm.
You know what it's not difficult to do?
What's that?
Go check out catcoolers.com.
It isn't.
No, it's very, very easy.
How would you do that?
Well, first off, you go to their website. It's www.catcoolers.com.
Mm-hmm. So you just type in www.catcoolers.com.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you do that, it pulls up a web page and you can peruse all of their stuff. Like if you want a cooler from Cat Coolers, or maybe you want, I don't know, a nice cup from Cat Coolers or a thermos from Cat Coolers. Any of these things, they have up to, what is it? What was that?
Three-body cooler.
3-body cooler?
Yeah.
Now, I also hear these things are pretty rugged.
I have heard that too.
Mm-hmm.
They're extremely rugged,
Yeah, I also hear they keep your ice cold for at least 7 days.
and that's one of the things that makes them rugged.
Mm-hmm. And they're made in the United States.
That definitely makes them rugged.
Right. They're also fully customizable.
Completely, like how customizable?
Like you can put anything on the top of that cooler you want.
Anything,
Anything.
anything, absolutely anything.
Pretty much.
You're like, wait a minute, you just said pretty much. First of all, is anything, and now you're saying pretty much.
Well, I'm saying pretty
Which-
much because I don't truly know if it's anything, but they say anything you want, you can make up your own. It's all there. You can put it there on the top lid. It's there.
But wait! There's more!
There is more. If you go to the website, catcoolers.com, and you check out their stuff and you do want to buy, not only are you going to get a lifetime warranty on everything from Cat Coolers, but if you use my name, Steven, S-T-E-V-E-N, that's S-T-E-V-E-N, you get 10% off when you purchase. Go to catcoolers.com, use
Yes, and while you're perusing the interwebs after you've gotten your cat cooler, go to mojo50.com.
yes.
It's very important that you do this.
It is. It's incredibly
Why?
important.
Because it's an amazing website. If you haven't checked it out yet, you don't know what you're missing.
Right. And also they have a promo going on.
I was going to say, while you're over there, if you hit the donate button, donate $25 or more,
Mhm.
you will receive a limited edition Rocky Stucci Meatball Army t-shirt.
Right.
That is in honor of Rocky Stucci from the Situation Room, midnights, Monday through Friday, only on Mojo 50.
Eastern time.
Yeah, that's Eastern time.
Mhm.
You can go to iHeartRadio. You can go to the podcasts, and you can find them on iHeartRadio, on Stitcher, on
SoundCloud.
and all places that you could find a podcast or anything else. Check him out. I'm telling you, the man covers everything, top to bottom, inside and out. Great show. Great guy.
Including all of the extraterrestrials.
Yes, and that's what I
cetera,
meant. Like
et cetera.
literally
Everything. Yeah.
everything the man covers. He is not a respecter of topics.
No, he definitely will accept
Well,
all topics.
If it's interesting to him, he will flap at the gums about it.
True
So,
enough. True enough.
check
Speaking of,
out-
oh yeah, go ahead.
I would say check him out. Med's live is the airing of midnights Monday through Friday on Mojo 50 and iHeartRadio.
Yes.
Or like I said, check out the podcast. Also, while you're doing that, when you're done doing all that, you have to go to our website, doaeshow.com. Check out all of our stuff just to look at us, because we have archives. You want to laugh, you want something funny, you want cringeworthy, because apparently cringeworthy videos are a big thing nowadays.
Yes.
You want cringeworthy, go back and watch the archives of me and Steven first starting out on Facebook Lives.
Oh man, that was bad.
Oh, it's that's worse. That's almost as bad as me in the yoga pants bad. Like it's
almost,
rough.
It's pretty close.
It's rough.
It's
DOAEshow.com. Good times are had by all.
Yes.
So-
Speaking of, flapping off at the gums, quiet guy in the back asking questions like, define more sense, Stephen. More sense can still fall short of the universal goal of common sense, to which I replied, common sense is not common enough to be the standard anymore. His only reply is, a man can dream.
This is true. This is true. And if you would like to be part of the show, if you want to get in on it, you want to talk to us through tweets or whatever on the Facebooks or Twitters and the MeWe's,
Yep.
at DOAE Show,
Yep.
at DOAE Show on all of those things. Make sure you use the hashtag #ArmYourselves so we can find you.
Yes.
And we will gladly, we like to talk and yuck it up with all of y'all guys out there. So don't be shy.
Right. And folks over on the MeWe, just so you know, I'm not upset at you. I'm not upset at you for bringing up the C word again.
Just disappointed.
I'm just disappointed.
Not mad. You're just disappointed.
Yep. Nobody cares about any celebrity that caught the C word. We don't care.
Oh.
Not at all.
Kevin Hutchinson's on the MeWe's. Will we get to see Dylan in any skinny jeans?
No.
They don't. No, because sadly,
his legs, he would lose oxygen to his legs and they would fall off.
well, I was going to say that for me, a skinny pair of jeans for me is a size 40. Like a 40-32 is skinny on me. So
Right.
I'm just saying they don't make actual skinny jeans in my size because, you know, skinny jeans are not meant for those of us on the rotund side of things.
It's about prioritization, okay? Democrats know about prioritization.
They do.
Yeah, they prioritize electability even though electable candidates are losing.
Yeah, that's the problem when you go into an election and all you're doing is focusing on the person and not on the principle or the standard.
Well, you know, when one of the founding editors of Washington Free Beacon goes out and talks to the Democrat primary voters, he finds a lot out about the electable candidates. Quote, voters backed the electable candidate in the Republican primary in 1996 and the Democrat primary in 2004 and the Republican primaries in 2012. Continelli said Monday morning to Fox Business News, all three candidates went on to lose in November.
Oh, darn.
He added the former Vice President Joe Biden's surge ahead of Bernie Sanders is a result of the Democrat voting shifting their priorities to focus on defeating President Donald Trump. He says, quote, what we're finding from Democratic voters is they're putting a priority on so-called electability. They want to find the candidate who has the best shot at defeating Trump in November. He continues saying, and that's why they made this hard turn away from Sanders after Nevada and toward Biden before South Carolina and Super Tuesday. Now, by the if we were to go by the numbers, that would definitely prove out true. If we had Compens on today, he'd be able to point out the numbers and say, "Yep, that's true."
Yep. We need to get him back on, actually.
We do.
We'll have to talk about that later, but I think we need to get him back like soon. So
yes, we do.
Good
But anyway, if we had him on, he would tell us that as the numbers went, that's exactly what you would see. You know, this representation of they're shifting their vote to electability over what their desire is, which, you know, funny enough, I think there was this, there's these guys, they talk on the radio. Man, it's on a little station. It's, it's nationwide, obviously, but internet radio station, libertarian talk, free speech.
Mojo 50?
Yeah, Mojo 50. They were on that. I heard them. It was like.
What do they have? What time is their show? When did you hear it? Was it?
It was in the evening time. Definitely in the
evening time.
Yeah, because it wasn't a replay. It was a live show.
You said it was a couple of them?
Yeah, just like two guys.
Two guys. Okay, two guys. that have a show in
on
the
Mojo
evenings.
50 in the evenings. Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway,
I'm
I'll-
drawing a blank. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
wish I could help you out.
It's fine. It's fine. Those guys,
Yeah.
whoever they are,
Mm-hmm.
I heard them like 6 months ago say that this was Biden's.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard that too. Actually,
You know, they
Vaguely
came out
remember
like
it,
poof,
too.
done.
yeah. From the moment that the Uncle Joe started running. A
Yeah.
matter of fact, I think I remember hearing these fellows calling that.
Yeah, I was pretty certain of that. And I'm pretty sure they also repeated that multiple times over the past 6
Yeah,
months.
I wish I could remember who they were.
I don't know, but they sharp guys. They look goofy as hell.
Not really. Not
No,
really.
You're right. They're not sharp.
No,
But they called that one.
look. They're about as sharp as a plastic spork.
Look.
Look, they're as sharp as a plastic spork. Okay.
I mean, you could still stab somebody with it.
You wouldn't break skin.
Yeah, you could. Remember that it has little like hanger-ons of the.
Not if you couldn't break skin with that.
Oh yeah, you could.
I smell a MojoCon dare now. Somebody's gonna produce a spork. Come here, Dylan. Let's stab you with
Plastic sporks on Dylan. All right.
They were Brad did
Look.
Brad and Ron were briefly discussing I don't know, it wasn't on purpose, but like half touching on ideas of things to do at MojoCon, and I had mentioned axe throwing.
Oh, let's do that.
Mixing
I'm
Jack
terrible at that.
Coles with beer and axes. I mean, what could absolutely go wrong?
I'm terrible at that, but let's do it.
I'm down.
Yeah, I could learn. I can learn.
Oh, I'm good at it.
I learned throwing things quick.
It's not hard. It really isn't. It's all in the wrist.
It's not hard for long anyway,
No, it isn't. It's
because it's all
not
in the wrist.
Again, it's all in the wrist. It all do.
Slightly slushy woman Kirk. Oh, excuse me.
What?
Slightly shushing woman Kirk.
Yeah, he changed that today.
Gosh, that messed me up.
It
there
threw
for a
Brad
second.
off for half a second too. It was funny.
Yeah, at DWA show at Dylan Lyles. 40? You optimist, you.
I know. That's only because I've lost weight. And actually, 40s are still tight on me. I'm at this weird size where I can wear a 40, but they're really tight. And if I put on a 42, they're too loose, like belts and.
So you're a 41.
Yeah, but you can't find a pair of 41s anywhere. You have to pick one or the other, and damn it.
You might as well go with the 42 and just cinch it up.
I thought about that, but see, I don't have an ass, and so it's like I had to put the belt real tight, and then it still falls
Suspenders.
down. And
Do the suspenders.
you know what? I thought about that.
Get
I
some
really
braces,
did.
buddy.
But then that means I have to go buy wife beaters and start wearing those. and I don't know, because like my grandpa wore like wife beaters and junk when his
And suspenders.
his uniform. You laugh at that. His uniform, when I remember him as a kid, when he had retired and everything else from driving truck, his uniform was a pair of Dickie work pants, a pair of work boots, a wife beater with suspenders, and a Pabst Blue Ribbon trucker hat, because that's who he used to drive truck for. And he would go sit out in the yard with his little spit jug and with his cup of tea or coffee or whatever he was drinking that grandma
Right.
made for him.
Right.
And he would sit out there and read his Lewis Lamar books, and that was what he would do.
That
And
was the
so
deal.
to me, to wear suspenders and then obviously having to go the route of the wife beater and everything else, I'm going to be cresting into an old age I'm not quite ready to accept yet.
Okay, well, I mean, that's fine.
But I may have no choice.
You may not have a choice. Extreme Stealth Jackal over on the Twitters. I will totally throw an axe at MojoCon. Fight me.
Well, no, that's why we're throwing axes, so
we don't have to
It's-
fight
it's-
each other. Yeah, it's not. We're not.
It's a challenge, It's
Right.
we duke it out that way instead of fighting each other.
Mhm.
But I like that idea. I really I
like it.
actually kind of like that idea more than.
I have a friend who does it like that's his hobby. That's what he does.
So, do you? All right, and this is obviously for local stuff. So if you don't live in or know anything
Raleigh,
about
yeah.
the Raleigh area, this
Mhm.
is completely irrelevant to you. But did you know they're putting one over over on 401 over by Lowe's, the Lowe's shopping center over there,
Ooh.
right there outside of Wake Forest. Yes.
Let's do this.
Oh, yes, actually. It's still being built, but I seen it over there the other day.
We're going.
Yes, we absolutely are.
I see a guy's day out.
Guys Day Out, nothing. Like, I mean, we'll do that too, but I'm thinking about, like, after
Double day.
MojoCon, there might need to be like a part 2 or something to make everybody come out to us.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and we'll go out and throw axes and drink beer and
And then go get ice cream.
go get ice cream. Absolutely. Sounds like a day.
Sounds like a really good day.
See,
So-
we got it all planned out.
I think it works. Look at that. Look how long it took us to plan that out. That was literally like 10 seconds.
I know.
Jeez, what is
I don't
going
know.
on? You know
I-
what?
I-
It's fine.
I thought it was pretty slick and easy, but
Yeah. Oh, that's what he said.
mm-hmm.
So, leaders of a college social justice group claim that she was threatened and attacked, leading the school to shut down classes. Cop says she made it all up.
This is the problem with this, and they don't get this. They're so worried about trying to make themselves a victim, trying to paint the other side that they feel that they're against.
Right.
Which, by the way, most people are not actually against you; they're against the crap and the way you do things, like
Correct.
this.
Yeah, like this.
But then they turn around and you make everybody think that you're this poor victim, and then you turn out and you completely discredit yourself. You could discredit your group, the principles you're supposedly trying to stand behind. Most folks are not against, and we talked about this beforehand. Social justice is not real.
right.
Most people, and I would say, we're talking, 80, 90 percentile of folks don't have a problem with treating everyone equally, or with, giving people, help when they actually need help or anything like that. What they have a problem with is people like this, who turn around and fake things, who lie about things, and then turn around and show just how disingenuous they really are. That's what pisses people off.
It does indeed. It does indeed. The Laverne Police Department said it investigated a series of threats initially targeting the student group and its members, adding that a series of 9 additional incidences followed the initial threat February 28th in 2019. Cops said that most of these threats were delivered electronically via email or text, and they also were directed at the college and at Dominguez Peña herself.
Wow. See, nobody's going to listen to you now. You're in a lot of trouble, and you just made whatever you believed in. And see, the problem with a lot of these people too is they don't.
Right.
It's not that they don't believe what they say they believe, but they're more about trying to start a fight, or they're more about trying to win and defeat the quote enemy, instead of actually trying to accomplish the goal of whatever it is that they're social justice-ing.
Ing.
Real fast, Big Farmer Steve over on the Twitters at Dylan Lyles. Clearly the solution to your pants issue is to wear the bigger size and buy a larger gun to make up the difference.
Agreed.
I carry around allegedly a Rock Island 1911 45.
So he carries around a big stick.
So you can't really get much bigger unless we're doing it in like an AR-15 or something. Alleged.
Anyway, folks, it's time to hit the bell counts. Let's see what's going on there.
Okay.
Good evening, Mojo 50. I'm Upcon, and here with your bell count grade for the day. Wednesday, March 11th, 2020. Today we had 2 missed innuendo bells, 27 actual bells, and 1 all-rim shot. Giving us a C for the day. Peace out, boys. We'll see you tomorrow.
C's not too bad, but it definitely needs to be better. Guys, remember, this is Defenders Live, DOAEshow.com, DOAEshow.com. Go over to Mojo50, check out all the wonderful hosts there. You can meet, it's so good. Especially check out the weekend folks. Anyway, see ya!
Bye.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey!